Why everyone hates this man. Do y'all hate Tectone? It's okay if you do. We all hate someone.
Hates Tectone. Made by my... What is this? Made by my daughter? Made by my daughter, Hex Juice? What the f*** is this video, bro? Why?
Didn't... We just did a whole fucking Hex Juice drama video thing. So is she stirring up more Shadooby?
Why did you make this? What is this? Bald equals bad? Okay, here we go. Let's find out why everybody hates me. Let me preface this beforehand. I don't give a f. Alright, let's continue.
To my
Yes, he
lecture,
does.
My name is Hex_Juice.
Yeah.
The foremost in Tectone D-writing, C-sucking, clout chaser, drama extraordinaire. That's me. I promise you, if you don't like...
Hey, you want to know how you beat? You want to know how you beat people who try to weaponize the term dick riders against you? You just say, yep. I had a homie. His name is Zizix Prime. And he was accused that he was a dick rider of me and that he must love me. And so you know what he said? Hell yeah. I love that motherfucker. And you know what's crazy? Ain't nobody ever bring that shit up ever again. Straight up. Ain't nobody ever bring that shit up again. When these people make up these terms like dick rider, right? And you allow that shit to affect you, to control who you do and who you don't interact with, who you do have the back of online and who you don't. Well then, I'm sorry, bro, you're just weak. You do not let these terms have strength.
Oh gosh.
Okay, because when you let these terms have strength, they're going to be used against you in perpetuity. So the moment somebody insults you with a word they think's gonna immediately correct your behavior, you just don't. You just say, yeah, it's true. Yeah, I am a dick rider. Yeah, I do love this mother. Okay, what's the problem?
Like Tectone and you clicked on this video because you just don't like Tectone so much.
Dude,
I
she
swear
added the fucking boba jiggle to her avatar. Come on. That's unfair. Unfair advantage, okay? I had to work for these titties, alright? You can't just CGI giant titties. That's not fair.
You're gonna learn something.
Okay.
I swear. I pinky swear it. I swear.
Pinky swear.
And if you do like Tectone, you'll also learn something.
She swears on her triple D bobas.
But we're gonna talk about why everybody hates Tectone, in my opinion, to me, for me. Therapeutic
Sure. Also, fun fact, I have a rule with all of my homies where if they ever break a pinky promise, I never talk to them ever again. It's a really good mechanic.
No, I actually live by that shit. Anyone who breaks a pinky promise, I will know, like, I'll trust them maybe, like, fucking as far as I can throw them, right? But I'll never trust them fully again.
To have in your friendships and your relationships, so that way when you need to trust someone, you just do a pinky promise. And I mean this genuinely. If anybody ever breaks a pinky promise, you just never talk to them again.
Yeah, no, like straight up, like, so my ex broke a pinky promise, and that's whenever I knew, oh shit, this is over. This is actually fully over. Is whenever someone breaks the pinky promise.
It's very good for people with paranoia to know that you have that one thing that you trust, and then if they break that trust, that sacred bond, then just never talk to them ever again. It's great. It works.
100%.
But you only use it for very serious things. Like very, very, very serious things.
Yes.
Drama farming, obviously. Causing problems, obviously. And Tectone, if you're watching, you're bald.
True.
You're bald.
Yep.
So, obviously.
You know why I like being bald? It's like having a third dick, right? I like holes open and shoving my head in. It's like I'm an excavator, right? If you've never had sex with a bald man, bro, you're missing out. That shit's crazy.
Reasons why people hate Tectone. Bald.
Okay.
Egg.
Yep.
Loud.
Yep.
Annoying.
Oh, I feel so sick.
Mean. Rich. White.
That's a big one.
Obnoxious.
Please, please don't do this to me. Please, please, please.
Last one would be male privilege. Pervert. Ah, degen. Yeah, degen.
Well,
all right. These are the obvious reasons why.
Let me rephrase. Let me tell you what degen means. That means that people don't like you because you're attracted to females as a male. But if you're a woman and you're attracted to a woman, oh, yes, queen, go. If you're a gay dude and you like dudes, oh, yes, king, go. But if you're a straight man who likes women, oh, man.
What if you like both like me?
That's a problem. Oh, I know, man.
Can I still slay?
Man.
Slay
When I first asked him what he thought, his reaction was, because I'm a white man in Gacha,
True.
obviously. I think that's a really fun content creator joking reason to say that. For an ads? God damn it.
I mean, let's keep it 100%. If there was anybody who wants to deny that I am overly hated for being white in the gacha space, I recommend you watch my Why I Hate Arknights videos, where the community managers of Arknights themselves said, don't support Tectone because he's white, support our other Asian creators.
My socials
If
get
you
the
don't
most
think
hate?
there's
Really?
a very clear negative agenda
The
against
only
white
hate
people
I
in the gacha
get
space, you are completely
is
out of
from
it.
Riku, and
Genuinely.
Riku does it out of
Okay.
love.
Like, let's
He,
just keep it
him
100%.
hating on you, or
Okay.
him hating on me,
Anyway, these are easy
means
reasons to
that
hate
he
anyone.
actually
Being
loves me.
bald, loud, and mean
So,
is an easy
technically,
thing to point
it's
at
not
and say,
hate.
I don't like him because he seems very rude and gross. Here's my point here. People get really caught up.
I would like to make it very clear. I don't seem very rude. I am rude. Society's definition of rude, which is essentially saying the things that need to be said, right? People would consider that rude. So sure, I would understand if somebody were to call me rude due to society's definition 100%.
Up in
society's
some shit about why
definition.
people don't like Tectone. There's obviously been a lot of controversy around my mans. We can be real about that.
And let me tell you why there's controversy, okay? It's not because of me. It's that when I see something wrong, I need to correct it. Okay, that's another horrible trait that I have. I mean, let's be real.
Oh
I've
my
spent the past
gosh.
2 years trying to fix Genshin Impact, a game that I don't even play. But when I see the mistreatment of people, the mistreatment of players, it irritates the shit out of me.
Tectone
clout
is
chasing bitch
a
either.
difficult
Exactly.
person for a lot of people. If you are somebody who
Now,
values like
me,
kind of
I
peace and
will
sanity
happily
and getting along with
chase the
everybody,
clout.
you're obviously not going to like Tectone.
Where's the lie?
Oh.
And I'll be real, okay? I don't with fake relationships, okay? I don't with acting cordial around shitty people, okay?
That OF
I don't.
clout.
Now I'll do that in real life.
I'm
But on the
getting
internet,
close.
Okay?
Like I said,
you know, if I'm at
I'm
TwitchCon, I'm
so
not gonna come up and
close.
break your arm. But on the internet, if someone's
I'm
a
one
piece of
bad
shit,
day
I'm
away
sorry,
from
bro.
just
I'm gonna make
saying,
it perfectly
fuck
clear
it,
that they're a piece
I'm
of
making
shit.
an
Oh,
OF.
ugly. You're right. We forgot ugly, guys. We forgot ugly.
That way my Twitch
There's a lot of,
viewership will
really
rise
easy
as my
surface
OF
reasons to
viewership
dislike Tectone.
rises.
But I want to talk
Because
about
everyone is
something
going to
in
be like,
particular
oh my
that I
god,
think
switch
is
to
a base
OF.
reason. There is
Play
a
naked,
certain
come
quality
on.
that Tectone has where
Make
people
that
don't
OF.
really have to know.
I
him.
think I could be
People
really
don't
good
really
at
have
it.
to experience him at all.
Not
They will just
necessarily
hate him.
because
like,
I'm
Tectone
good
has this, like,
at,
this energy that just kind of pisses people off.
True.
Does
At,
anybody
like,
kind of get that? Because I definitely do. As a fan
lewd
and like somebody who
things,
likes
but
Tectone,
because
I
of
see
my
that. I
personality.
think there's something about Tectone, and I see this even as somebody who does like his energy, where
I got the
people,
body for it. I
something
I
about
think
Tectone makes
I
people
have a
froth.
pretty
Because
okay
I will
body,
say,
so I
as
think I could
a
do it.
content creator, that
It's because confidence. Confidence drives people insane. Being proud these days
This is for
is
men.
being the same as being a narcissist in society's eyes. People want you to be uncomfortable with who you are. People want you to feel bad about yourself. People want you to be self-conscious. And when they see that you're not, it really makes them angry because they're self-conscious and they don't like themselves. So when they see people that do like themselves, it irritates the shit out of them. It genuinely does. It really, really, really does. People want others to live in sympathy. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
is associated with Tectone now, that people will.
People really want content creators to derive their self-worth off of what their chat and what the community says. But the thing is, when people get their confidence from within, then it doesn't matter anymore, right? So you're not looking for anyone for approval because you've
That's
already
so hard
approved
on
yourself.
yourself.
And I'll be real, I hope everyone in chat takes that advice to their heart, right? Like, if you are happy with who you are, then no one can put you down. Right, and it's very good. Like, you should find the things that you love about yourself, and you should appreciate those things. Anyways, any Feel Strong Man claps?
will literally click on a video because his face is in it, won't watch the video, and just shit on him. Just shit on him, shit on me for liking him, shit on me for agreeing with him. Don't even know what the video was. People literally, like, have this sort of unhinged reaction to how much they hate him.
Now, I will say, I think a lot of this is in the past. Genuinely, I think a
Genuinely.
lot of this is in the past. I think a lot of people are coming around, right? Since we've cleared up all the bullshit from the Genshin community, since we've cleared up the bullshit with Envy and Atsu, I think a lot of people have come around. I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy about that because a lot of people gave me an additional chance and they realized, oh wait, I hated this guy for a reason that didn't exist for years, which feels great. If you see you taking for the first time, you think he's the most annoying piece of shit, but he's the opposite of that. Oh, guys, what do you think?
Because I've said this before, but there's a certain amount of me that did not want to believe when Tectone would talk about how people dislike him. Like how awful people are, like how crazy people are about disliking him. There's a part of me that genuinely, in my heart, I wanted to believe that that was not true. I get comments about Tectone regularly saying things like they can't wait for the day that Tectone is found out to have CP, being racist, or grooming a minor, so that they can come back to my videos defending him and
Wait, what?
shove it in my face what a weird creep he is. Like,
that is some very unhinged shit. Like if people were coming into chat and being like, oh yeah, I can't wait until Tectone gets caught with CP. That's just weird. Why would you say that?
that's the level to which people hate him. What that means to me is I don't have a good reason that
Racist? Man, I pulled Sparkle day one. Hey, f***ing Venturine, bro.
I mean, he did use the term mint picker, and that's just that's just so close. He is on the border. Like, he's too much on the border. But like, I think the biggest reason why people don't like Tectone is because of how smug he is. He acts very cocky, very smug, and it's annoying. You know, it's not what you're saying, it's how you say it that matters, and he just comes off very smug, very fucking cocky.
Homeboy, bro. He's mid as. Where my Sparkle mains at, boys? Where's Sparkle Slur Sundays? When they coming back? What's going on? What's going on with my girl Sparkle?
I can point to for why I hate this person so much, but I need something as severe as having child victims to justify the level of hatred I have for this person, because I don't have a good reason to put in this comment. So I hope that there is actual like child victims so I can justify how much I hate this person.
Here, I'll give you a reason to hate me. When I was a kid, I used to set shit on fire, and I wrote Homeboy's name in the death note, and his ass died the next day. Right, so what I'm saying is I'm Light Yagami. Okay,
Wait,
so
what?
I think that's a good enough reason to hate me. I think that's good. Hopefully that helps.
That's a weird, unhinged, worrisome reaction to just about anything. People literally will say the craziest stuff about him forever, and there's a lot of people who are disliked, a lot of content creators who are disliked, but that don't seem to have the same level of vitriol for the things that Tectone has actually done.
Hold up, that's a good word. It's a good word. Let's Google that. Vitriol. Cruel and bitter criticism. I like that. We're gonna yoink that one. I always heard that word, never knew what it meant. I like that. There's another word. Oh yeah,
Someone has a
dystopian.
motorcycle.
It's another great word. Relating to or denoting an imagined state of society where there is great suffering or injustice. A person who imagines or foresees a state of society where there's great suffering or injustice. I like that. Those are good-ass words, man. Add those to your vocabulary, chat. You're learning. Vitriol, dystopian, words of the days.
I've always found like the level of like what he did and the level of hate to be kind of like the scale was weird. And so
Oh, dude, I 1,000,000% agree. I mean, there's some guy, once again, Gwobus certified. Here's another great content creator that comes to mind. Dude was talking a lot of shit. Okay? Dude was talking hella shit. Bro gets called out for it. He admits that he did it. Didn't even do it once, did it twice. Gets called out twice for the same thing. Nobody cares. People moved on within 24 hours. I get called out for shit-talking Tenha in Atsu's DMs, and it never happened, but that was still held against me for 2 years. I get accused of shit talking Dreamy in their DMs. I disprove that that has happened, and it still gets held over me for 3 years. It's insane. Maybe if I made like a PNG avatar of me being like an egg, people would hop the off my dick. Well, actually, you know what? Stay on it. Anyways.
So
Stay
what
on
I
it.
want to talk about is like I think that there's something that gets under gets under people's skin about Tectone. That is not just that he is loud and
Why do I feel like MTash is gonna make a video on this video and talk about why I'm an evil man? Why do I feel like MTash is once again gonna explain my quote-unquote
Dude.
problematic behavior in this community when in reality the entirety is MTash is Canadian and he doesn't understand that I'm American? And that's just what it comes down
I mean, MTash is kind of a wussy, if you know what I mean.
to, brother. Okay, I'm just a red-blooded American. Okay,
American,
we handle things
American.
a little bit different than we do up in America's hat. All right, why don't we simmer down there, M-Tashed? Why don't we simmer down?
ugly and bald and obnoxious and mean, okay? Because he is all of those things. He most certainly is.
Sure,
Yeah.
He
100%.
most certainly is.
sure.
But there's something that, A, I think it is the thing that gets under people's skin about Tectone very often. And B, I also think it's the thing that makes him resilient to the level of hatred that
I'm gonna keep it 100%. This is a great video, but God, I just cannot stop staring at her boobs. Like, it is hypnotic. I don't know
Straight
what
up.
to say. But goddamn, man, those things are just...
They're jiggling, right? Like, if I just stayed like this the entire time, it would be the same, right? So it's just unfair. It's unfair to be a big bobid VTuber, and I'm jealous.
They're enormous. Like, am I alone? Like, good God. Anyways.
he gets. And that's the thing that I want to talk about today because I think it is something that will help you be more resilient as well.
Me.
So, I want to talk about this concept called validation.
Okay.
So, validation is a concept that I think is misused. The proper therapeutic way that validation is considered in therapy is that when somebody says your feelings are valid, what they're saying is you have a right to feel how you feel.
Sure.
'Cause
Sure.
In life, sometimes your feelings are informed by things that are not currently happening. Sometimes the level of emotion that you have about something or the way that your brain is taking a certain thing that is said or done is based more so in something that happened to you before or a feeling that you've had before or your own insecurity. Okay, I'm going to use envy as an example, mostly because it's
I am going to say this.
What are you gonna say?
I had an experience with a person where this person just like always felt sorry for themselves, always said how hard their life was. And I was trying to help this person quite a lot, you know, and make them fight their own shortcomings head on, right? And I was doing this shit for months. And then one dude comes along and completely feeds into this guy's delusion. And the person was just never the same. All of the progress completely wiped out. They became this completely pathetic human being, and I've never seen them again. And you know what's crazy? Their Twitter feed is still them talking about how miserable they are. Like, there's a big difference in
Okay.
hearing someone out, but when you're feeding into someone else's delusion, like, that's one of the most harmful things you can ever do. Like, you cannot do that. You can't. If someone has a problem, you need to help them with it, not just say, oh, you're right. Everyone's wrong but you, Queen. Oh my God, it's so bad.
a good example.
Okay.
And you guys are relatively familiar with that whole thing. So I think
She had to ask her artist to shrink her boob size? Bro. Why? Damn.
that envy's negative feeling about being called a mint picker is valid because he has the right to feel how he feels. His feelings
Sure.
are his own. He deserves to be hurt by things that he finds hurtful, even if we think it's silly. Just because something is valid doesn't make it true. Valid
True.
does not mean
Sure.
correct
True.
or true. Valid just simply means that you're allowed to feel how you feel.
True.
That's it. However, that does
Yep.
not mean that having the level of hurt by being called a name like Mint Picker is correct or right, and having a panic attack about it is correct or right. The point of validity is that life is not about being right all the time, guys. And if I say to you that your feelings are wrong,
I'm sorry,
even if
bro.
you have
The Mint Picker jokes will never not be funny to me, man. Like, they will just legit never not be fun to me, bro. Like, that shit will be funny forever for me, man. That shit kills me.
a lot of reasons to be feeling that feeling, you're gonna feel like shit. But if I say, I understand why you feel that way, let's figure out what that is,
Yep.
that's way more validating. So if I went to
Sure.
Tectone and I said, hey, it hurt my feelings when you said that I was a drama farmer because of this reason, and he said, oh man, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings on that. I was joking.
This person, Hex, are you talking to Twitter and not your chat? Straight up.
It was not my intention. What can I say instead, or what can we do in the future? That's way better than if I said, hey, Tectone, it hurt my feelings when you called me a drama farmer. And then he said, okay, well.
It really does blow me away that people still use Twitter. It's a cesspool of just shit. Imagine taking a shit in a petri dish. That's Twitter. Or X, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, I didn't mean to fucking offend you. Seems like you are a little bit too sensitive. Maybe you should get over it. As a friend, if we're talking about a friend or somebody you're close to, right? That's not
True.
gonna feel very good. Invalidating feelings and shifting blame is bad.
Makes
if
sense.
you do not have self-assuredness, self-love, self-respect, if you can't validate yourself, it is going to be extremely difficult to love another person in a way that is going to make you or them feel loved. And I'm not saying you can't, but it is going to be significantly harder, and you're going to have a lot of hiccups. And I'm
gosh.
saying
Sure.
this from experience, okay? The reality about validation, if you don't have it, is that you are a leaky bucket. You have a leaky bucket of validation.
Oh, this is fun. I love
and
drawings.
if you can't
Okay.
fill your own leaky bucket holes, you're just gonna be spilling out all over the place.
I agree.
How are you gonna fill that self-validation bucket? Is you're probably going to require other people to validate you all the time. People you're going to ask.
What did I say at the beginning of the video? What did I say at the beginning of the video? When you can't validate yourself, you are going to require the praise of other people on the internet because they want to help you fix your bucket. But if your bucket's already fixed, well, then what do? If you don't need them to tell you that you're a good person, what do, man?
More from people than they can possibly give you. Everybody's gonna have to give you that validation,
I love how pre-watch is being said when it's just not. I'm just very self-aware.
and it's gonna be a really, really tough thing for you and that other person, because if you're constantly requiring validation from other people.
Hold up. Look up covert narcissism. Okay, I'm looking it up. Covert narcissism. A covert narcissism is someone who craves admiration and importance, lacking empathy toward others, but may act in a different way than an overt narcissist. They may exhibit symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, but often hide more obvious signs of the condition. Okay. So who's this? Who's that? What are you trying to say? What's that? How's that relevant? You see that? And then once again, people see someone who has confidence and they say, you're a narcissist. That's crazy, right? That's also what I said at the beginning of the video. So let me ask you a question.
Well,
guys. How does
okay. Like this is the thing, right? Like there's a very fine line between confidence and just being cocky or smug. And I think Tectone leans too much on the cocky / smug side, that it doesn't come off as confident. It's just obnoxious and, again, cocky.
somebody have confidence and isn't a narcissist? On the internet, ooh, can't do that. Can't do that, bro. Cannot do that. It's what I also said at the beginning of the video. You see a person with confidence, you gotta slap them with the label of, oh, they're a narcissist, they're a bad guy. Shut your fucking mouth. Let's see.
People to feel valid, and you don't have your own source of validation, if you need everybody else to validate.
Here's the other thing that I can disprove covert narcissism. Okay? Watch this. Look at this. Hold up. This is big. More introverted Nope. Reserved? Nope. Passive aggressive? Hell no. I'm full on aggressive. So anybody who thinks that you just got me with that definition, shut the f up.
Validate you, but your holes are still leaking. It's not like those things aren't gushing too.
Dumbass.
It's not actually helping. It's a facsimile of actually filling the bucket. Because no matter what you do, until you can fix your bucket and you can fill your own bucket, the validation of other people isn't going to matter because it's just going to come right out that bucket.
True.
It's just going to come out of those holes. But my point is, most people realistically walk around with a leaky bucket. People who
100%.
are hateful online. People
You know what really helped me fix my leaky bucket? Going to the gym.
What I was about to say is everyone wants validation. As much as Tectone and Hex try to say like, oh yeah, we don't need validation. If you didn't have validation, you wouldn't be streaming. You wouldn't be trying to become a very public figure, right? So yes, some validation is very good. It feels good. It feels great. You know? They wouldn't be doing this if they didn't have a good amount of validation in the form of support and financial gain. Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with validation. You know, I mean, it's, you know, whenever he's just like, oh, you know what helped me with validation, which this will help, you know, going to the gym. But you know what else helps with validation? Making millions of dollars playing anime games. So yes, it's easy for you to be like, oh yeah, like whenever you have self-validation, it's so easy. It's like, well, okay, like it's a little bit easy for you to say, but it's nuanced, right? So you can't just say, oh, well, as long as you're fine or completely self-validated, then you don't need anyone's then you don't need anyone else's validation. So but you do. She wants validation for what she's saying by her chat agreeing with her or whatever. He needs validation in order to keep doing what he's doing. So as long as you're doing it in, I think, a productive way, I get what they're saying. I get it. Like, oh, the dollar's doing that. You just want to have fun with it. You just can't get people to know it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, eventually I hope to become more popular, but I think people who spend 90% of their work life since they're 16 or 18, whenever they start on the internet, then I do think that they are a little bit softer and require a lot more validation from the internet.
people online, people who are constantly fighting other people, probably don't have a very
right, and like, again, I think that's why a lot of VTubers are VTubers, is because maybe they want other people's validation. Because I mean, look at this avatar, giant bobas, perfect hair, perfect eyes, she's got some ears. You can't see it because my cam is blocking it, but it's like they want validation just as much as anyone else.
Self-validation bucket.
Now, a covert narcissism or a covert narcissist could align with enviosity 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. But me, hell no.
And so they're taking shots at other people, trying to validate themselves. That's why people say, like, bullies only bully you because they're self-conscious. That's a validation thing as well. Bullies only bully because they can't fill your bucket. You're going to do anything you can. You're going to hurt other people. You're going to take from people that you like.
Okay, so I was a bully when I was in high school, but here's the difference. I was the bullies that bullied the bullies. So if I saw someone bullying someone else, then I would bully the person who bullied. just so they could see
Of course, Tectone is always a hero. Whatever.
how it felt like. And I would get in so much shit for that.
Give me advice.
I would get in so much shit.
Yeah, we can talk about that after.
I remember there was this little kid. I think his name was Felipe. He's like 9th grade when I was in 12th grade. Bro was just harassing this chick in the locker room. So I just picked him up, threw it in a garbage can, put the lid on it, and then I just sat there. And I sat there for like 30 minutes. Then I was playing like Pokemon on my Nintendo DS while he was like screaming in the trash can. Needless to say, he never did that shit again. But yeah. That shit was wild. Locker room? Yeah.
Life you're gonna take from people you don't like. You're always gonna keep seeking this because self-validation.
Anyways, he died. He had asthma. Okay, this isn't Coffin of Andy and Lele. Anyways, can we get some W assault in the chat? Anyways, that was a kid, doesn't count.
Is like the very basis of liking yourself. The reality is that people have a parasocial relationship with Tectone, even if it's negative. Parasocial relationships are not necessarily positive feelings. I think self-validation is like one of the core things that will get you out of addiction. It will get you out of the drama triangle cycle. It'll get you into having a happier life. If you can just validate your own feeling, then anybody else validating you is just extra. If you already believe in yourself and you believe in your words and you believe in your intentions and you know who you are, you don't need anybody else to tell you that, but it is nice.
True.
But I think the thing that
I will say, even though I don't crave validation from the internet, I love it. When somebody comes to my chat, they say, "Oh, Techie, you look great today." I'm like, you know what? You're right. I do. When they say, "Oh man, you're looking extra shiny today," I say, "Thanks. I polished myself up just for you." This shit feels good. It does. It's nice. I'm like, hey man, thank you, brother.
gets on people's nerves
You look
about
so
Tectone
shiny.
is that, if nothing else, Tectone validates himself. Tectone does not need anyone to tell him who the he is. Tectone does not need anyone to tell him that he's a good person. Tectone does not need anyone to tell him he's in the right. Tectone does not need your opinion to make him feel better about himself. And if you're a person who walks around who is not able
Y'all remember what I said at the beginning of the video, right?
to validate yourself, that's annoying. If you cannot imagine...
So, I think validation also comes in results. Because you need more than just, oh, I know who I am. It's more than just that. You have to actually have results. And if you don't have results, but you're still self-validating, I think that's like an unhealthy way of doing it. You know, Tectone can he can be cocky, he can be smug, he can self-validate and say, "Oh yeah, what I'm doing is correct," because of the results that his actions provide. Because his actions provided millions of dollars, great connections, a great career in anime game playing. So that's I think it also goes into whatever you produce, right?
what it is like to be inherently validated, that's gonna kind of be annoying. It's gonna be an annoying constant issue that somebody else is validating themselves, especially when Tectone is loud and bald and white and mean. Narcissists actually...
Let me explain something.
I also think the word narcissist gets thrown around way too often. I mean, any psychology term gets thrown around way too much. Like, oh, you're a narcissist. Oh, you're showing sociopathic tendencies or psychopathic tendencies. It's like, bro, come on. Like, you're throwing these words out to what's the word? To have a very intense effect in what you're saying. Like, I know there's a word for this. I'll think of it eventually. I'm half brain dead right now. You're cute, but in other words, because you validate yourself. Mental dissonance. It's narcissism. Yeah, like it's just so easy to again throw out these big psychology terms and be very extreme with your language when it's like, you know, you don't know what Hex is like in real life. You don't know what Tectone is like in real life. You don't know what I'm like in real life. So just throwing out these terms with what you see on the internet is really weird. I don't know.
I have a homie who really likes when they get complimented on social media. They really like it. They go, oh my God, I love this. I'm going to read every comment saying how great I am. And it makes them feel so good. And I told them, you cannot do that. Has to be pink? It's not pink. I say you cannot do that. Because if you crave these people's attention and validation to get your high, when you get a low, you are going to be obliterated. Because then when you seek that validation, not only are you not going to get it, you're going to get the exact opposite. And it's going to obliterate you. And they did not believe me. And then a low happened. And then they read it. They were obliterated for weeks. That is the danger of seeking your validation online. Okay? It's not your community's responsibility to make you feel better about yourself. It's not anybody's responsibility to make you feel better about yourself. It is your own responsibility. Because when you seek the validation from others and you don't get it, that is a very slippery slope. And that is why you cannot be like that. Anyways, chat, I love you. You look so great today. You're all so smart and handsome. Such smart and handsome young men. Oh, look at you. I'm so proud of you. Oh, me and Beppin. We're so... Look at those guys, Beppin. Look at them. Point at them. They're such good boys, Beppin. Yep. Yep. Show those beautiful blue eyes. Oh, look at those beautiful blue eyes. Look at that baby. Look at that baby. Oh, Beppin. Oh, Beppin.
All right, come on.
People on whether they're right or they're wrong. They will always need it. You are always going to be desperate for people to believe you. You are always going to be desperate for people to be on your side. You are always going to be desperate.
Yeah, it's like those streamers before they give any take. And I've called this shit out before many times. The people who are like obsessed with being right and people who are agreeing with them are like, okay, chat, so what do we think about God of War? What are they gonna say? But mods, run a poll. What are they gonna say? Woke, mid, peak. So good, gosh. Meh. Peak. I think it's peak. Can we get some Based and Drakes in the chat? I think it's peak too, guys. Can we get some Drakes? Can we get some Based? I'm just like you guys. Man, we're all right, guys. We're all right. It's like, bro, come on, bro. Like, when you hear a streamer say anything and then they stall to give their opinion, and you can see them frantically looking at their chat to find their opinion, bro, it's so pathetic. It is actually so pathetic.
See, that's why I do live reactions. That way, I have to state my opinion as things are going. So I can't sit back and come up with the most logical opinion in the moment. I just have to say whatever comes to my mind. See, I'm 10 steps ahead. Tectone, bring me on your podcast. I live a few hours away. I'll drive to you.
For people to like you. You are always...
I will be your personal trainer, all right? I'll give you the body that you've always wanted validation for.
Going to need other people to make you feel enough because you don't think that you are enough. Tectone has a very specific ability to validate himself. I don't know how he does that. It seems like it comes naturally to him. That shit is...
Not being a pussy whenever he gets insults.
Crazy. I wish I had that.
You want me to tell you how?
And earning millions of dollars.
Genuinely? My dad says how proud he is of me, and I'm like, well, shit, bro. If my dad likes me, then good. You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. My dad tells me how much of a great guy I am, and I'm like, okay, well, Dad, I mean, hey, you know, feels pretty good. I have a very good dad. I mean, he's annoying as shit sometimes.
Must be nice,
He's annoying as
Tectone.
shit. I mean, he's annoying
Weird
as shit
flex,
sometimes,
but
A lot
okay.
of the time, majorly, he's a great guy.
I had to learn that. The reality is, somebody who is validated can feel very similar to somebody who is a dick on purpose, who is a bully on purpose, because they don't need you to make them feel better. People who are validated aren't going to try to take from you. It'll be a neutral exchange most of the time. And I think that Tectone not needing people's approval has a very particular effect of pissing people off. So people pleasers are gonna stay in the middle of like liking, right? And people who can validate themselves are gonna be on these poles. People will really like you or they'll really hate you for the most part, especially on the internet where you kind of get put into a box. I think that is a huge reason why Tectone gets on people's nerves, because I talked to him a little bit. He let me ask him a couple questions, and I asked
coffee
him,
after.
why do you actually think people hate you? And he said, I'm loud and bald, which is easy to dunk on, and I look like the guy who bullied all these kids who hate me in high school.
I mean, you know, I mean, am I wrong? I remind these people of all these people who gave them trauma in the past, or my trauma with Tectone in the current. Who knows? Oh, okay, bitch, I lied.
He also said, because I make controversial content and give out uncomfortable opinions that people aren't ready to hear. And I also don't give a if people like me or not. And if that doesn't sound like validation to you guys, I don't know what will. Tectone does not need other people to validate him. Tectone does not need other people to think he's a cool guy. He's just himself.
That being said, if you wanted Twitch Prime, that would be crazy, right? If you want to sub, that would be insane, right? You don't have to, but
Okay, so instead of subbing to a millionaire, sub to a dozenaire like me. All right, I have dozens of dollars, so sub to me.
man, would it sure be cool.
And he's okay with having up because people up. Anybody who tries to act like they are
A poor
perfect are
schmuck.
bullshit. I would say that Tectone is a kind person, but not a nice person.
True.
At least from my experience
I agree.
with Tectone, who
Sure.
has been
Okay. I
very,
like that.
very, very kind to me on a number of levels. But like, people would rather you be nice. People.
So here's the thing. People don't understand nuance. That's another big issue that I have. People don't understand nuance. And they don't
Tectone, I don't
understand the
think you
fact that
understand
I
it.
am very good to the people who I like, and I'm very bad to the people who I don't like. And so people will take my one interaction with people who I don't like and think that's how I treat everyone. People will take an interaction I have with one person I do like and take that as my interaction with everybody. And the thing is, I'm not a one-note guy, right? I will treat different people differently based on my interactions with them. And I don't think a lot of people do that, right? Like, you know, for example, let's talk about a guy called Saikuno. Saikuno's a guy who treats everybody the same, right? Every interaction you will ever see with
Just the one people don't
Saikuno,
like?
it'll be the same.
Yeah, so, okay. Being nice to people who you like is the easiest thing in the world. But being nice to someone who you hate, that is a skill. So being able to watch someone that you hate and still being nice to them, or at least presenting your thoughts in a very nice way, is a skill. So if I were to look at Tectone and be like, oh, he's a bald piece of garbage who needs to lose weight, blah, 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 that would be mean, okay? You don't have to say it like that. If I were to be like, hey, Tectone, I think, you know, maybe you need to take better care of your health. You know, here's some advice. That's a nice way to, that's a very nice way to say it. But if you always say it in the mean way and always come off as like a jerk with the excuse of, oh, I'm just saying the hard truth. You're just not ready to hear it. Bro, come on. Like, he knows what he's doing. He knows. Okay, so I saw this one clip. It's Andrew Tate. So I saw this one clip of Andrew Tate saying, you know, you know, he was being interviewed, and I think the interviewer said something along the lines of, you know, why do you say these bombastic lines? And he replies, well, because I know it's going to get clicks. I know it's going to make the headlines. So instead of saying something like, biologically, men have more muscle mass than women, I say women are weak. Because I know that people are going to blow that clip up. So it's kind of like that, where, you know, you can say something in a very nice way to someone that you don't like, or you can say it in a very rude and bombastic, over-the-top way that will make you come off like a jerk, you know? So him just being, oh, it's just the hard truth. Come on. There's more layers than just, it's the truth. You're just an asshole. You know what they were saying, don't you? Because handsomely do. Yeah, exactly. You know? It's being able to criticize someone in a respectful way. And again, it's a skill. Okay? It's a skill that is hard to perfect. It's hard to do all the time. I don't expect anyone to do it all the time. But to try to play it off as, I'm just saying the hard truth, people just can't handle that. Ho ho ho, you're just a sensitive snowflake. Okay, well, if you're being a jerk about it, then why would anyone want to listen to you? Just being harsh and abrasive. Exactly.
Interaction that he has with everybody else, and people consider him a nice, wholesome guy, right? That's pretty much what it is. But people don't understand nuance and the idea that, oh, Tectone doesn't like this guy, so he treats him like shit. Tectone doesn't like this female, so he also treats him like shit. Tectone likes this guy, so he treats him well. You know, it's just a nuance thing, man.
People would rather other people think that they are nice and rather control people's opinions of them because it's comfortable and they don't have to deal with like actually being disliked for who they are over actually being themselves a lot of the time. And I know I'm making a strong sweeping generalization. If the shoe doesn't fit for you, you can just say that the shoe doesn't fit for you, but you don't need to get offensive or defensive about it, because if the shoe doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. That's a yes or no situation. So I guess my whole point of this is that, like, if you see Tectone and him being self-assured pisses you off,
yeah,
work on yourself. I understand that his delivery sucks. Tectone's delivery sucks on 99% of the shit he says.
Based.
Yes.
True.
Tectone's delivery sucks on literally everything all the time. That's part of his character.
No, but there's more than just, oh, if what Tectone says bothers you, then that's on you. Well, no, he can still say it again in a better way, and you can't also say in the same sentence, oh, his delivery 99% of the time sucks, because that's what matters. It's not what you say, but how you say it. And, dude. Okay, she's almost correct. Okay? This dirty ass. Yes. Okay? And if... Alright, it's almost over.
My delivery sucks because the world is full of pussies.
Dear Lord. Dear Lord. You know, imagine if Tectone was talking to his significant other and she asked, does this dress make me look fat? his first reaction, according to this, is just, yes, you look like a fat piece of shit. You need to go to the gym and lose weight for that dress to look good on you. Would that technically be true? Maybe, sure. Or could he say, babe, I don't think that dress necessarily makes you look the absolute best. Maybe you can find a more flattering dress that would show off your best features. You can say things in a respectful way and still be right. But it's the way that he's saying it, and then just saying, like, again, and then imagine if she was just like, wow, that was incredibly rude of you to say. Oh, well, you just can't handle the truth, you pussy. It's like, bro, come on.
Okay? And I'm not going to bend a knee to make people feel uncomfortable for me getting the information out that needs to be given. Okay? I can't help that we live in this weak world.
God.
I can't help that there are no strong
Dude,
men.
and the only reason why he can have this attitude is because he's making, like I said, millions of dollars. If he wasn't making these millions of dollars, he couldn't act like this. It's like any of these top social media influencers who act like they're like the entire world revolves around them and their opinions. They can only do that because of the amount of, I guess, wealth that they're receiving. But it's a very disconnected opinion, I think.
More. Okay? The world is weak. What do you want me to say, man? Okay? Andrew Tate, love you, brother. But for real, I mean, people are just weak.
Notice how he references Andrew Tate, which, like I said, if you come out and say, yes, I act like a dick and say things in the rudest way possible because I want the most amount of clicks possible, then whatever, fine. But don't try to be like, oh, everyone is just a pussy if they don't clap like a walrus after everything that I say. Okay?
Speaker, man. Social media, there's so many snowflakes, it's insane.
Character. That's part of what he does as a content creator. But if you cannot hear him through that filter of being a dick.
Yo, chat, what do you think? Type 1 if you think that what I just said is based. Type 2 if you think that I might be off here. Okay. All right. What do we think here, guys? What do we think? All right.
And all you can get that is how annoying and gross and like how much he pisses you off. Maybe we should like reconvene and do something else. Maybe we can like reconvene and like look at why somebody makes you that angry. Because the level to which people get upset at Tectone is weird. Not that you can't be upset at Tectone. Not that you can't like the things that he says. You absolutely can, and you should be critical of content creators. You should be critical of everything, all the time. Not just people, everything, everybody, all the time. Critical thinking is a good thing.
I like that little
However,
peepo on the
if
bottom right.
Tectone's saying, I didn't do anything wrong, and you saying that I did when I didn't doesn't mean anything to me, pisses you off, personal problem. You will be a bad friend. You will be a bad partner if you cannot validate yourself. And like that doesn't mean that people can't love you through that and empathize with you through that problem, because it's usually not your fault that you can't validate yourself. But if you're an adult person, it is your responsibility to fix.
Okay, so Hex is saying all this shit, right? And yet we just had the giant ass drama with her and MTash where all he did was just have her in the back of the video and said one thing about her. And then she made this whole video. It started this huge drama where they had to get into a call together with Tectone. And now she's just like, oh, well, if you just have validation, blah, blah, blah. And it's just so hypocritical, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. Because, again, they label any type of critique as, oh, you're just being a pussy, or, oh, that's just your own problem. But again, to refer back to the example that I just said, there's a right way that you can tell someone that they look fat in the dress versus a very nice and kind way that you can say it that won't come off as like a dick move. So it's just very dumb.
Fix it. But anyway, say goodbye to YouTube. I
Bye,
hope
Hex.
that this helped you somehow. I hope you have a lovely night. Like,
It was good. Like, comment, subscribe. Hey, boys, here's the video. So pretty much, let me give you a TLDR. If you don't like me, it's because you're a bitch and you're wrong. Can I get some bass in the chat? Can I get some bass in Drake's voice? Hey, true
Oh,
bass. And
gosh.
also, if you don't like my community, anyways, bass, true, pog. Can we get some pogs in the chat?
Bro. He knows what he's doing. That was oh my god, Tectone.
All right, cool. Anyways, catch you on the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you.
All right, well, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Obviously, if you're part of Tectone's audience, you might not like my kinder delivery of criticism. Because I won't tell you to Kermit unalive. Okay, what does his comment say? There's people that know that I'm right, and there's people that don't know that I'm right yet. Techie single-handedly created a Genshin slur with Mint Picker. Damn, Rosie, son. Hate it for not picking Mint. Because most of the time he speaks the truth. Again, you can speak the truth and not be a dick. And if you're a dick 99% of the time, yeah, people aren't going to want to listen to whatever you have to say. And regardless of whether you say the truth or not, people don't want to listen to a dick. Okay? Like it's just old. It's not, sometimes it's entertaining, but other times whenever it genuinely feels like Tectone truly believes like he doesn't deserve some of the hate that he gets, it's just annoying and old because he knows what he's doing. It's all an act, and I don't know. All right, well, that's the end of that video. Why everyone hates this man. Like I said, Techie, invite me on your podcast, and I will be your personal trainer, and I'll teach you how to not always be a dick, maybe half the time, but not 99% of the time. All right, whatever time it is for you, have a good morning, good afternoon, good night, and I will catch you later. Bye, YouTube.